first things first, and let's get the junior golf news then. As you can appreciate, something I've said on a few occasions in recent weeks, not too many competitions to talk about. So we're going to be talking about some of the things the news which has happened. First of all, we'll start off then. England Golf, the national boys squad, they've announced their new lead coach. Stephen Orr is going to be replacing Rob Watts, voted England Golf Coach of the Year in 2015. He's been based at Rustington Golf Club. I think that might be near you, down in Sussex. I don't know how far away.
I don't know. I don't know the club actually. I'll be honest. Sussex isn't a million miles away, but yeah, it's. I don't know.
There's one or two clubs down there, isn't there? So, and Watts hasn't gone completely. He's now taken over the men's setup. I think that happened in September. So obviously both of them involved with that. Now, staying with selections, big competition coming up next year. It's the Walker Cup, 49th Walker Cup. The R&A have announced a squad of 19 players who are going to be in contention for selection for that match. So that's the GB and Ireland boys against the USA boys competition. It takes place at St Andrews. It's on the old course, September the 2nd and the 3rd, and basically it marks 100 years since the match was first played at the Home of Golf. So that's really important.
Big year.
Yeah, absolutely. Now they've announced the squad, so there are 8 teenagers in this squad. It's very interesting selection. I'll go through the players who the teenagers then. So a couple from Scotland, Conor Graham and Callum Scott. These are names which if people who follow this podcast regularly mention because they do really well, win lots of competitions. So couple of Scottish teenagers. I think Conor's the youngest in the whole squad. He's 16 years of age, so there's a talent to watch out for. And 6 English teenagers. So we've got Josh Berry, Harley Smith, Dylan Shaw Radford, Frank Kennedy, Josh Hill, and also Tyler Weaver. We had Max Weaver on a little while ago. That's his younger brother Tyler. So congratulations to the Weaver family. Now the interesting bit of the selection is so those are all the younger ones. I mean, let me tell you, the oldest player is 41. Then the next oldest is 29. So it's certainly not an old squad, but it's very interesting the fact that the players who are over the age of 20 are not necessarily from England. So I don't know whether this is the thing whereby the junior golfers in England seem to develop a little bit better, or perhaps they get more notice, get the opportunity to play more competitions.
Opened a can of worms here, Steve. You've opened a can of worms.
I don't know. You tell me. I mean, look, the other 10 players, 3 of them are from England. So Barclay Brown, Aaron Edwards Hill, and John Goff. So 3 fantastic players who've done really well in recent years.
Yeah.
But 2 Welsh players, both 21 years old, James Ashfield and Archer Davis. And in particular of in Ireland, I don't know if they develop a little bit later in Ireland or not, but you've got Archie Davis, Mark Power, Liam Nolan, Robert Murran, Hugh Foley, Matthew McLean and Peter O'Keefe, and all of those are over the age of 21, whereas the vast majority of the English players are under the age of 18. So it is fascinating how that has worked out. I don't know why. Perhaps it's,
that's what happens when you have Guinness for breakfast, though, isn't it? Slows you down.
Could well be. I mean, to be fair, if you look at the professional game, the likes of Shane Lowry, he developed at a later age. Even Podrick Harrington, it took him a little while before he really hit it, at a professional side of things. So perhaps it might be a thing whereby in countries like that, whereby you have to develop, you have to get yourself to a certain standard, and then it does take a little bit longer because perhaps you're not playing in many competitions. Obviously, they're going to have to. Some of the bigger competitions are over on this side of the REC. So I don't know. I just found it fascinating that the fact that the age was different in the different countries.
You mentioned John Goff there as well, though, Steve. Just remember that name, everybody. John Goff, you probably already know it. And Dylan Shaw Radford as well. We mentioned him a lot. And of course, the Weavers, as we know very, very well, weaving their way to the top of the.
Very good.
I've been thinking about that for the last couple of minutes.
Oh dear. Well, a little advice within. Next time, keep it in your head. Don't let it out.
You'll be pleased to know, everybody, I won't be on for much longer.
Right, stay with team selection then. This is definitely for juniors. I mentioned lots of juniors playing in that Walker Cup squad. It's also massive for competition next year. We've got the Solheim Cup. We have got the Solheim Cup. We've also got the Ryder Cup, but we've got the Junior Ryder Cup as well. And the Junior Ryder Cup will be for boys and girls. 6 boys and 6 girls are going to be selected for that match. That takes place on September the 26th to the 28th over in Italy. And they've announced the captain, and it's someone who we've mentioned on this podcast on many occasions as well, someone who puts a lot of work into junior golf. Stephen Gallagher course, a former Ryder Cup player, former Ryder Cup winner, does a lot of work with junior golf north of the border. So he's going to be the team captain. He's going to be the one who's going to be selecting the players, like I say, 6 boys, 6 girls game between Europe and the USA over in Italy. They play at Golf National in Rome and the Marconi Simone Golf Club, which I think is actually the venue for, I might be wrong, is that the actual venue for the Ryder Cup? I'm not certain, actually.
Comment below if you know.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, please let us know.
That needs to be live streamed as well, that, by the way, the Junior Ryder Cup, doesn't it? So there you go. Anybody who are at home watching, give me a call.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And if you need any photos taken, I'm more than happy to come over, kind of thing. So, yeah. Right. Just finally, a couple of other stories. One which took place over in America. I think I might have found my favourite young golfer in the world. Last year, it was a young lad called Charlie Woods. He's been overtaken, though.
Did you want to get in that bandwagon, Steve? I'll get you that bandwagon.
No, the PNC Championship, you're well aware of the PNC Championships, where it's like family event whereby some of the top players in the world, both male and female, play the opportunity to play with family members. Some of them play with their dads, some of them play with their sons, some of them play with their daughters. Well, Will McGee became the youngest ever player to play in this competition, the age of 11. His mum is someone who you might have heard of called Annika Sorensen.
Yeah.
They've done one or two things and done all right for herself. That's it. Yeah. No, so,
good tennis player, wasn't she?
Oh, you are going to get into trouble.
Only joking.
Yeah. Right. That invite to cover the Junior Ryder Cup has just been cancelled.
It was never there anyway.
Well, probably not. No. Now they finished 17th in the competition, though. But I don't know if you've seen some of the clips on YouTube and on Twitter. But he held a couple of really good putts, and 11 years old, he's got a bit about him, kind of thing. He had a big smile on his face throughout the entire tournament. So really pleased for him. Right, just finally then, someone who came on the podcast a little while ago, Anna Dawson, talking about the Faldo Series. She came on, she did really well in the Faldo Series, won the event over in the UAE. When she was on, she was talking about the fact that she was going to be playing in the European Ladies European Tour qualifying school. Well, that just finished today, and I'm pleased to say she has got a card for the Ladies European Tour. So she went into that event as an amateur. Yes. I'm presuming now that she has got a card, she's going to turn professional, and hopefully we'll see her. I think it's a Category 2 card. So she basically, it was the top 20 plus ties. Got the main card. She finished 31st though, but really good finish to the tour. This was played over out in La Manga. Started off 74, 71, 77, and then when he really needed to put the pressure on, get the scores in, finished with 269s to finish 31st. Oh. Only a couple of shots off finishing the top 20 there. So well done.
Future winner there, handling pressure like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Well done to her. And just looking at the people who finished in that top 20, a couple of teenagers. Nastasia Nadal from France, she finished 3rd, 18-year-old, and another 18-year-old, Denmark's Amelia Leth-Nielsen, finished 13th, shot 64 in the first round though, so that's one way to start a tournament. And interesting as well, the 24 players, so like I say, it was top 20 and ties went through, 24 players got the main card. Actually, only 3 British players. So interesting the fact that a lot of Europeans must be doing very well. Obviously, it is the Ladies European Tour. But
maybe we just developed later than everybody else.
Who knows? My theories. But the 3 British players who all got cards: Annabelle Dimmock, Lee Ann Bramwell, and someone who did very well in the Women's Open, I think last year, if memory serves right.
Lee Ann Bramwell as well, Steve. Sorry, former Faldo Series winner, won the Wales Championship in a couple of years ago. Very good player is Lee Ann, by the way. Very good player, and a dad Jason, lovely bloke too.
Good. Well, and Louise Duncan was the other one who qualified as well. So well done to all those players. Well done to anyone who's made it onto the Ladies European Tour, and best of luck next year playing in that. That wraps up the junior golf news then, which is, of course, the last one of the year. We'll